Good afternoon, everyone. At this point, I would like to call the Cities Association Executive Committee meeting to order. Today is the 23rd of April, and we are starting this meeting at 4:45 p.m. Can we have roll call, please, Shani?
Dina Walia.
Here.
J.R. Fruin.
Here.
Rob Moore.
Here.
Rosemary Kamei.
She's on her way.
Larry Klein.
Here.
With 4 present, you have 4.
Okay, thank you. So let me first announce that at the end of the last executive committee meeting, we had a closed session and there is nothing to report. With that, let me call for oral communications in the room or online from members of the public on non-agendized items. Do we have anyone online? Okay, closing that. Let's start with the agenda. Agenda item, the first item is consent agenda, which is to approve minutes from the executive committee meeting of March 26th. Any changes, corrections, edits? None. Open public comment. Do we have anyone online?
Anyone online?
Yeah. Seeing none, close public comment, bring it back to the committee. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved. Second by Klein.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. That's unanimous, all ayes, so I'm not even going to ask nays or abstentions. With that, moving on to item number B for Bay, President update. I am thrilled to welcome our newest member of the executive committee, Mayor Rob Moore of Las Caras. He has been selected by the board on April 9th to be the second vice president of the Cities Association. That comes with the added responsibility of being Legislative Action Committee Chair. Welcome to the group, Rob.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
We are thrilled to have you. And I don't have anything else on the update. I think we'll be covering all the items in the agenda. So, well, one update for this committee, yes, we are continuing to move forward with the website. Mayor Klein and I have been working. We got back and forth and some more information that came in yesterday. And we are hoping to still stay kind of on schedule, a little bit behind, but later in May. That's the only update I have. With that, moving on to item number C. I'm just wondering if we should move on to the next item. I'll hold off item C till the treasurer comes in. And moving on to item number D, which is to identify speakers for 2026. Executive Director Shally Sirke, do you have anything on that?
No new speaker requests have come in. Second Harvest remains in our parking lot.
Okay. And for August, most likely to align with the board priority of e-bikes, I have tentatively spoken with Pat Burt, council member from Palo Alto, and Sergio Lopez, council member from Campbell. Sergio is the VTA board chair this year, and from MTC, Pat Burt, both of them had reached out to me very early in the year. So they are tentatively on the list. And that'll work well, even though that's not directly related to e-bikes, but it's the transportation theme, which kind of works well. So that's the only thing from me on the speakers. Any suggestions, anyone here in the committee?
Nothing.
If there are, just
For e-bikes, you could get somebody from Safe Routes to Schools. Our Safe Routes to Schools coordinator would be happy to do that. But another city could also do that. But I think that's a good, they interact a lot with the kids and see the behavior. So
Cupertino's doing a community meeting on e-bikes and safe use next month. So maybe there is some synergy there with folks who would be already set up to speak to the matter.
okay. Wonderful. I'll follow up with both of you individually sometime, a couple of weeks. focused on May and June first. Not June first, but those 2 months in that order. So that'll be helpful. With that, do I need to take public comment for every item? Okay, I'll open public comment.
No one online has their hand up.
Okay, close public comment, moving on to. Is Rosemary here? Debating, should we do June event or the agendas? Let's go to agendas. Moving on to item number E, which is review May 14th, 2026 meeting agendas. And we have 2 draft agendas in the packet, the Legislative Action Committee agenda and the Board of Directors. So let's start with the Legislative Action Committee agenda.
So I have 7 bills that I think that the committee should look at. How do we normally do this? Do you want me to run through them? Or
You could just mention.
I'd say the easiest way, at least in my time, was just the bill number, author, and just even the tagline of what it very basically does.
perfect. So we have as recommended at the last meeting, AB 1821, the California Public Records Request Act, which this bill would slightly lengthen the time cities have to respond. The second bill is AB 2296 from Diane Pappin, which is all about the housing element. Seems somewhat unlikely to actually pass maybe, but was asked for by 2 members at the last meeting. So I think it's worth considering.
I think that's a redux of AB 650 from last year,
Which died.
which was vetoed,
Yeah. Third one is SB 1167 from Catherine Blakespear, which is on electric bicycles. So that's a fun one, of course. This one I think is you can see these are all the supporters, the no opposition. So I think it's going to be one of the popular ones. And it aims to address misrepresentation of e-bikes and also strengthen sort of the import side, which is a big problem for it, the issue. The next one is bringing SB 949, the Becker bill, back. I reached out to MidPenn, who is supporting that bill, to get clarification on the big question that was there about land use. And Mark Berman had that exact question during committee. And so afterward, Senator Becker explicitly added the language that says, this section shall not be construed as authorizing the Natural Resource Agency to impose any additional regulatory requirements on land use or working lands. So I think that fixes or addresses the problem. Last 3, AB 1708, which is on homelessness. This is on funding for homelessness prevention. There have been 7 rounds of homelessness prevention funding. They've only been available to cities larger than with populations larger than 300,000. This would expand that to smaller cities. SB 922 from Laird is one that also 2 people asked for last time. This is on local agency fees and how cities can recover costs for heavy service vehicles that damage roads. And then last one is AB 2385, Petrie Norris, local reconstruction agencies. This is an emergency or disaster preparedness kind of bill, trying to cover all of our areas. This bill clarifies that cities can reconstitute redevelopment agencies for disaster to support recovery efforts.
What was the number of the Petrie Norris bill?
2385.
Is there any particular order you want me to put these on the LAC agenda?
I think I can send you the document that I had. This is what I have. I can send you, I think just that order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any comments on that? Suggestions?
I mean, if you want, I can send you the sort of document setup that I used for mine last year that we used for the last
Documents meaning,
Meaning just the sort of like what level of analysis you might want to have.
so you're gonna look at, this is what I've printed out multiple of these. This is what I only did it for the first four, but that's what I did if y'all wanna check it out.
While he's reviewing that, I'd like to make one suggestion. You choose the order of the bills, see the ones that align with the board priorities and with also the ones that are applicable to more of the cities, of the 15 cities. That's my only suggestion. It's your call. That's the way I was somehow managing to address the needs of a wider audience. You noticed last time, quite a few people abstain. And there are some bills which have narrower interests. And in those cases, we were taking time and there is too much abstention. So just keep that in mind as you decide.
Okay.
Just wanted to share that with you. Larry, any thoughts from your experience? You've
No, I
done
think-
this role a couple of times.
No, I think, I think exactly. The bill order is whatever you think is, interest and it's hard to say because you're going to see exactly that. You've been to the meetings.
Mhm.
Certain people will just always abstain because
Right.
they don't have authority, so. But I think it's good from a discussion standpoint. And yeah, you're good.
I'll just reconfirm with you before.
I'll send you the draft agenda, yeah, I think tonight.
Oh, that reminds me, one question. Shelley, what about the letters of support from the last meeting?
You didn't send them to me.
I did,
You did?
yes,
I'm sorry, when did you send them?
unless I didn't.
No, you did.
Okay,
You did, I remember. Did you post them?
No, I didn't see the letters. Let me see.
So you both have signed them or no?
No, he sent
I have to
draft
I have to
letters
prepare the
and
letters.
she said
Oh, you just
she will
put that.
do that.
Just need to put the logo on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that
Sorry,
was
I'm
10, 12
I'm
days
still
ago.
sleep deprived from Tuesday night.
Did you just
so-
get back?
No, but we did a 2 a.m. meeting that
Oh,
was
dear.
thrown off my schedule.
On air yours, they approved. it.
Rob, can you tell me?
most recent day.
Okay, because
He sent it on Tuesday when you were out.
Because I did a search and it doesn't come up.
No.
You even responded. to
Figure it out.
So we'll move on. I want to open public comment on this.
I
Any-
see mine.
Any members of the public?
No one online has their hand.
Okay, closing public comment, which is for both the agendas, LAC as well as the board. So what about the board of directors agenda? And well, I can quickly mention, it's pretty straightforward. We have the second in the series on with a focus on emergency preparedness, response and recovery. I already mentioned the two speakers. Emergency managers from Gilroy, Andrew Young, who's also the president of their association in the county, and Ken Duker from Palo Alto. That's going to be the key thing. Then we have an update from LAFCO, Mayor Turner, Morgan Hill, and the alternate for LAFCO who sits at the board. Well, here's the LAFCO chair, I believe, for accounting. I just realized that. So
Somebody's busy.
yes, so Zach Hilton had also reached out and he'll be there. And it'll be a short presentation with likely their executive director or CEO, correct title, available for QA, Neelima. And then we have the executive director professional services agreement, LAC update, and the regular stuff. And that would be, in my opinion, plenty to keep us busy for 2 hours, and I'll most likely have to run another tight meeting to get it done maximum by 9:15. Other thoughts on it?
I'll wait for everyone else to speak.
Any questions, thoughts from the committee?
I think it should be good. And I think it should be good.
Okay.
And hopefully, I don't know if it'll come up in the meetings, but currently the LAFCO is doing a water and wastewater service review. And so, we haven't done it in, I think, 4 years or so, but it should be very interesting in that, there are a lot of questions and water systems and all of that. And we had our first TAC meeting this week. And it was very interesting that I know that a lot of the cities, staff is very interested in what's going to happen with some of the builders remedies that are just outside. And of course, this study will not cover that, but obviously there are future impacts.
Thank you. There's so much we learned there from each other.
So, I kind of sequenced this wrong. I was gonna do this during my executive director update. I don't know if you should pull my thing off the agenda. When I was going through and doing the self-evaluation, I realized that as this job evolves, as the cities association evolves, you're going to need a different set of skill sets than what I have. And I would like to stay until the end of June, which is the end of the fiscal year, and happy to stay on and give a long runway to whoever you hire. Just give them all the passwords, how we do everything. So that's I wanted to tell you all verbally first before sending a formal letter. So I don't know if you need to pull that. Or if you, or,
I'll leave it for now and I'll let the motion say that you two work out whether or not what should be on the agenda.
Okay. Okay.
Because we still have.
Yeah.
However many days until the meeting.
Yes. I think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
And I can take the legal counsel's advice as well. We can do that offline, Andrew, or?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that offline.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
I know I was at the last meeting, but not the previous meeting. Has Steve Preminger been missing them now?
No, he's
No.
coming.
So he just wasn't at the last meeting.
Correct.
Yes,
Oh,
you're right.
checking.
You're right. He has been coming.
Okay,
Yeah, he was not there at the last meeting. I observed the same thing.
okay.
Okay. So I need a motion. Any other thoughts on the board agenda? We did the LAC agenda, board agenda, and I have a question for Larry. Is this where you want to add the city selection, or that's a separate thing anyway?
It's all
So,
separate.
okay, so we will sort that
And
out.
actually, no, assuming that we'll have it, and so there should be at least a report out at this meeting if we do have the meeting. So let me make the motion.
Okay.
I'll-
Yeah, but why don't you?
Okay, so approve the LAC agenda and board agenda as listed with the addition of giving the president the authority of adding a city selection committee update if needed. The LAC chair to finalize what the LAC agenda is and the order of those bills. And I think that's it, correct?
Yeah.
And then any other changes that the president and the director want to entertain.
Okay, thank you. And when you said the order of the bills for LAC chair, including changing the bill.
Changes to the, yes.
I just wanted Rob to be aware.
Yes.
That's how because bills will change between now and 10 days, something else will pop up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Which is unanimous, so both the agendas are approved. And with that, let's come back to item number C, which is the June 11th membership event. And Sally will be making a presentation.
On that. So as of today, we are 7 weeks out from the event. I did send a timeline to Tina, but I can go over the highlights here. Once the caterer is finalized, then I'll be able to establish the RSVP deadline. It's generally a week before, but I don't know, some caterers have different issues. So that helps me determine what the RSVP deadline is. And I did send a catering comparison last night to Tina and Rosemary, Leslie. And so I just need direction on who we're going to choose, as they are wildly, I mean, it's like $45 a person all the way to like 175 and up. So so it just depends, and it also depends on the plates. Some will offer melamine plates, some will offer disposable plates. Some will want us to scrape and create the plates if they just do a drop off. So those are the kinds of that's what
Scrape and what?
scrape and crate.
Crate.
That's what
Oh,
that,
sorry,
scrape them and
crate.
you don't have to wash them.
Okay,
It's kind of disgusting, but yeah.
it's food cycling.
Yeah.
Important to do food cycling too. Yes.
So I haven't had a chance to call Mint. I think I emailed you and asked you what that was. So I haven't done that yet. And some people are still getting back to me today.
Okay. So any of these that you think is reasonable, given what we have done in the last 4 years? Which fits in the price and the quality and the audience?
I think, okay, well, if you want the vibe to be a little more fun, you wanna go like that route, we can go with South Winchester Barbecue. Their option 3 includes 5 hours of staffing. It's $58 per person, so it's under the 60. The only drawback is, well, it's not really a drawback. Barbecue gets messy. So you'd have to choose something that you can eat with a fork and knife. And their only vegan option is vegan sausages. But I'll find out if the sides are completely vegetarian or not. So that's one. And then you can have fun with like checkered tablecloths and, you know, have that kind of backyard vibe barbecue. The other one that's also within our our budget is Double H Catering. I got this name from Sandra Cranford, who supports Jennifer McGuire's office. She uses them all the time, so I've had their food and it's really good. They're very cheap, and Double H is from Happy Hollow Park and Zoo.
Yeah.
So it's really, so that's where the money goes to benefit, which is kind of nice. But they said food only. But that's kind of, I think we'll have to do with some of the, I mean, what I've seen they do for Sandra is that they'll come in, they'll set up, then they'll go away, they'll come back later and pick up.
What is your total budget again?
Yeah,
6,000.
6,000?
I think that's what we did last time, right?
Yeah, we asked for an increase up to 6,000.
Yeah. That's correct.
What are the other expenses? Because the room rental is free. We already decided that. I mean, we Saratoga owns and Leslie worked with LGS, so that we don't have to do that.
This event is much more straightforward than the December event.
Yeah.
So we need tablecloths. I've been asking everyone for how much for plates and like metal silverware. I think that would be nice if we had metal, not metal plate, glass plates. The only other thing that's it. If you wanted to go with Indian and you wanted to do disposable, the Indian places have like those disposable plates that have the different compartments.
The trays.
Yeah, they're like this, little compartments. So there's different ways of going to this and to stay within budget.
But even if you were to get glasses, plates, and
Beverages.
glasses, plates, and
Flour.
silverware, you know, like, I mean, I don't know, I rented then, and you do have to put them in the crates, but it's not a big deal. Like I never had a problem with that. They come in crates, you put them back in the crate and they take them away.
Yep.
So it's very straightforward and it's not too bad.
They're just ugly and nasty.
Yes.
I have a party supply person that I usually go to for things at my house. He's very cheap, but he doesn't have like the plates and all that stuff. I don't know if Danny Thomas does, but Danny
They do.
Thomas is great, but they are also expensive.
I think Leslie is gonna make a suggestion.
Just kind of considering the budget, if you have about 6,000 and you estimate 80 folks, you're looking at 75 a person. And thinking of it through, in my personal opinion, I'm looking at the spreadsheet and thinking that handheld catering might be a really good option. And the reason I say that is that it's this full service, and I think it makes it more professional. And they've got not only the full service, but 3 appetizers, entrees, salads, sides, desserts. It becomes a nice formal dinner versus a barbecue. And they do have the beverages included as well as the labor. So kind of refilling the bins that are,
Yeah.
as the food gets lower, they come back and restock those things. And I just think that for something like this, despite it being a summer event, I think we want to represent Saratoga and have it done nicely and professionally. And I think that, when it comes, I think the only other cost for consideration is just maybe the rental of the linens.
Mhm.
And so if you think about 80 people, you have still $800 left, or $800 to $1,000 within your budget for linens. Which hoping that would be the cost. And then if you think about even the only other costs are maybe if we think about centerpieces, that can be done. We talked about this in terms of featuring Saratoga is known for, we have like looking for gold acorns around the city. So you could have some kind of centerpiece, and that could be done very cheaply, but also nicely done. And I have several ideas. I've done this many times to come up with centerpieces and things like that.
So I've been in touch with Handheld. They really want to do this event. And if the December event works out better for us to use them for the December event, we can do that, but it'll be a different discount, of course. But the thing with Handheld is, when I divided it, they're comping us $7,000 and change. When you divide that by 80 or 85, that is well over $50 per person. So they would have to comp us much less, and then we would have to make up the difference.
So, but I'm looking at the spreadsheet here and the cost per person says $65 per person.
That's our out of pocket.
Correct.
Right.
I
That's from Cities Association, and then in the notes column, where you see the 7,126,
It
that
was not
amount.
in the packet, Larry. So
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to jump in. No,
Sorry.
I know. So
Sorry, I was just
No,
thought I
no.
missed something,
no, I'm going to jump in.
which is.
And can you actually read for Andrew? So Andrew, this email came in last night from Shali.
Okay.
Rosemary got it, Leslie got it, I got it. And there's a comment here, it says $65 per person, but the notes, which to me is concerning, is
Okay.
saying, the notes, I'm reading it, is offering steep discount, comping us 75%, which is a little over $7,000.
Yep.
Because his aunt is Deborah Figoni,
Figoni.
Yeah.
San Jose city manager. and-
Former.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not.
Former
manager.
The word former is not there.
Yeah, because the current one is Jennifer McGuire.
That's what, but I'm not reading former here. And
This was not meant to be a public document. It's a working document. It's my notes that I'm just kind of like scribbling on. That's why I didn't put how much, if you divide their donation by 80 or 85, that comes out to a certain dollar amount per person. And it's over 50, and out of our pocket comes out $65 per person. See what I mean?
That's where the issue.
Okay, see, my concern was, it doesn't say former city manager. To me, San Jose city manager is like somebody's comping us because of that. I'm concerned.
But even then,
It's beyond.
it's beyond the
Yeah,
$50.
It's beyond.
Right. So, yeah, and I'm not sure if this is maybe more of an offline conversation, but as a
Okay.
general matter, if a public official receives a discount because he or she is a public official, it is not a discount generally available to other members of the public.
Exactly.
It would
Right.
constitute a gift. I will just say that's the general rule, but we can certainly
Thank you.
follow up with the
Thank you.
specifics. Sure.
Thank you, Andrew. That's why I brought it up. So when I saw it late last night, I was concerned that there's a special discount. So other comments, we can, of course, take this offline and work on this later on. I can work with Leslie.
I will just throw out a comment. So you questioned about barbecue and in person. For me, that's not a big deal as long as you have some sort of Purell on every table. That would, it's a cheap expense from that standpoint. I think the bigger question is, do you have enough vegetarian options?
Mhm.
Although the cost is at $50 and we can easily go to, what did you say? Sorry.
65.
Thank you. An extra $15 a person going to whether or not it's a caterer or other entity to fill out the vegetarian portion of the menu, to me makes total sense. But
Rosemary recommended South Winchester barbecue. So do
They're-
you know
they're-
anything about their vegetarian options or anything like that?
They only have the vegetarian, the vegan,
Sausage?
sausage, yeah. I mean, they have a lot of sides, but I don't know. if they're-
sometimes I've Murley is only vegetarian and he's like, sometimes it's only sides, as long as the sides are good,
Yeah,
you know.
the sides are good, but
Yeah.
Murli and Sheila are both
Mhm.
vegetarians.
And just for clarification, I know I said it's, if you've got
And I was-
6,000 budget, you really technically have 75 per person. I just looked at that.
You need the
You need the extra
the
cushion.
drinks, the tablecloth. I
Yeah, yep,
totally
yep,
agree.
yep.
There's additional costs,
Yeah,
but just to get to this 74.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Drinks and decor.
Yeah.
How much should we allocate for that?
It's hard to say just based on who you go with, right? Because some.
No,
you know,
no, I'm saying the drinks and
That
decor.
I don't know. It
Okay.
it
We
again,
can-
it
It
depends
shouldn't
on.
be that much.
Yeah, and
You know,
and
I mean,
there are costs.
I don't know, if you wanted to go, I mean. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Last
see.
year we just did sodas
Mhm.
and ice,
Fine,
huh?
good wine in the summer.
But we had a wine, but it was mainly just so a lot of what we brought in was sodas.
Uh-huh.
The wine was left over from an Arden wine thing and so
Okay.
it was that was comp to some degree. And almost nobody drank wine.
Okay.
And we certainly can get donated wine, I think, and we might have some left over from our reorg.
There's always that, yeah.
We can. So I'm thinking, should we work on this more? Maybe I can work with the treasurer. Other thoughts? Any other city, somebody you have?
No,
in mind is?
you had mentioned Mandala, and I'm just wondering if they have.
Mandala doesn't even have a catering menu. The other one that I mentioned was Mint.
Mint?
A friend of a friend had
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that they get Mint to do big events. And when I checked with Mint that time, they had said they work seamlessly with the full service company. It's a separate company, you get two separate invoices,
Oh, I see.
but they work seamlessly. And those guys had said, Mint had said, we can even come and put a hot tandoor outside and have those guys do fresh vegetarian and non-vegetarian grilled stuff as appetizers and then do the.
Because I mean, if we wanted to make sure that there were more vegetarian options, I mean.
I don't know. I'm not going to be eating the food. What's the general reaction? Indian food, some people will find it too spicy, some will say it's okay. Mandala is not an option. Say it again.
People love Indian food.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't think it's an issue either.
yeah. I don't think it's an issue.
They ought to, experience some slightly different things rather than.
And I
generic
don't,
things.
I don't know who, oh my gosh, I can't, I'm blanking on her name, our assessor.
Nisa.
Lisa, yeah, it was wonderful. I don't know who she used, but.
You talking about her swearing in?
We can text her. Yeah, who did she get food from?
Yeah, and she had the different stations and everything.
It was, Dish Dash. The Dish Dash owners live in Los Altos.
Oh,
I see. So it was discharged.
And Dish Dash is across multiple cities.
yeah.
Well, Mint is your jurisdiction.
Is that meant with a Y?
Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, mint would be good. I don't know, I like it.
Dish Dash is.
I mean, I can ask the friend of a friend to.
I just thought it was good.
Actually, yeah.
But my bigger question is. Are we okay with? If we go that route, he's saying he doesn't do full service, but he can assure us seamlessly. The other company coming in.
I don't know who. this
Any
other-
red flags there?
I don't know,
No?
I guess it depends on,
Yeah.
whether it's gonna blow our budget or not, I don't know.
No, this is basically an IATN group
Uh-huh.
that has been using this system with that Mint, your
Yeah.
district Mint.
Yeah,
I happen to be talking with a friend and who said, hey, talk to that person.
I mean, I don't know, I don't have any objection, I mean, if it's something that has. That you'd need a quote and all that kind of stuff and see what's included
I
and
just
what.
need a contact person. Mint.
Did you look at Eisenhower at all?
That does not sound familiar.
Where is Eisenhower?
Okay, so they're technically located in Sunnyvale, but they do an awful lot of catering in Cupertino and seem to know what they're doing.
What kind of price point?
They've
Yeah.
got all kinds of things.
Price wise, we'll have to get a code, I
Good,
guess.
good prices,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we use them for all of our employee breakfasts but they do lunch, dinner, they
Yep.
do a little, they ever do everything.
Yep.
They're pretty good.
Rotary uses them for all of their.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that's right, because whenever I'm in your Rotary, yeah.
Do they offer plates and everything, or does that separate?
My understanding is that they do, yes.
Yes, they do,
Full service? That's good. Because
yes.
that was a great point Leslie had brought up way back, that we need to watch the full service part, which is important. But that was the challenge with Mandala. They don't even have a catering menu. I mean, Mandala would have been great.
You
Everybody
don't want
loves
to
their food.
piecemeal it.
Yeah, piecemealing would be a challenge. Suggestions from you, Rob?
No.
Especially representing that group.
I think we have
That's
plenty
a
of options.
vegetarian. No, the price point became sticky. So quite a few of these are not going to be feasible price wise. That's why
I
we're,
think what you were just suggesting sounds good. If there's vegetarian options, I think Dish Dash sounds good to me. Indian and Thai are both usually pretty affordable and accommodate the vegans.
okay.
And if we do Dish Dash, it's okay that we did them last year. You don't want
That
to do
was the
something
only thing. We did them last year. People love the food.
I can ask
I
them
don't think
again.
anybody.
Oh, did you do them last year?
That's
Yeah.
what
There you go.
last year.
Last summer we used them.
Maybe no one will.
And
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
always-
it was fun, it was
it's
nice,
Consistently good, you know?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know that's the thing. It's like to have consistency, that's mainly what and when you cater in, they bring in their staff to make sure that things get
Everything.
stay warm and keep dishing it out. So
That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Would it look odd if it's the same from last summer?
they're all over our communities, so.
Yeah.
It's true.
that's true, that's true,
I think it's totally
that's true.
fine.
Okay.
Then I can talk to Amira addition.
Yeah, so add.
And I'll give you it, Eisenhower's number just in case, just so that.
Eisenhower, Dish Dash, Mint, the other one we were saying here was checking with the barbecue.
The location
thing.
is, where is it again? that we're
This is
doing it?
Prospect Center on Prospect Road,
Which is.
Near Miller,
San Jose, Saratoga,
Okay.
literally,
Okay.
before Westgate.
I just can't picture it.
near Miller,
In Saratoga.
Yeah.
Johnson,
Okay. Okay.
Is there direction on South
Is-
Manchester?
Because there's also, I don't know if you know JW Catering. Sorry, I didn't know we were throwing out catering outside of Saratoga.
Saratoga was too expensive.
JW Catering has been doing it for years now. They do all the catering for the back parties at Shoreline. They're in Sunnyvale, but they also have what's kind of unique is pizza oven that they can bring in, so they do all, basically whatever food you want. But they have a pizza oven that they bring in. And I just wanted to know kind of what it looked like, because they have a pizza oven that they could bring in to do pizzas, and pizzas just keep flying out, so.
Mm.
I'll
Okay.
pass some information.
Okay.
I'm the big foodie, so I'm like,
Mhm.
but I wasn't going to push Sunnyvale locations, but
Okay.
since you kicked it off with Eisenhower's, I might as well tell you what my experience has been and some of the good. So I'll just give you the options, and it's a quick ask on what they think the cost would be. So, okay.
So follow up on Mint, Eisenhower, Dish Dash, and Big W.
All right.
Is there any other follow-up on South Winchester barbecue? We have all their pricing.
Yeah, we have the information, but I don't know that they offer much vegan, vegetarian.
Yeah, when I
We can do that. We have a member on the executive committee. We can choose a place that.
Also, just to go back to handheld catering, since they are offering such a steep discount, if we're concerned about what what would be a disclosable gift, what if we just supplemented the remainder from budget? And that feels like a thing that's worth exploring.
I will just repeat, they're very, very keen on working with us. I have another email from them today.
Okay, other thoughts on this? Other aspects of the June 11th event?
Yeah, so I was going over the timeline when we got a little sidetracked. So then what I will do is when I make up the RSVP, I'll make it the week before, which is June 4th. So I'll send out a save the date email to all 91 council members and 15 city managers, probably tomorrow. I sent a draft of the. No, is it a draft?
No.
Okay, I know what's happening in my email. Then I'll send an official invitation on May 4th, and May 4th is 4.5 weeks out. Then I will send weekly reminder emails on Thursdays, May 14th, 21, 28, and 24, or June 4th. June 3rd, I will send a reminder email that the deadline to RSVP is the next day. Further, I will announce this at the city managers meeting on May 13th, and we can bring up the RSVP deadline on May 14th. Deadlines being what they are, I always get people RSVPing after the deadline, and I have not said no to anyone. So, I mean, the room capacity is 150 people, so we could accommodate if they did. So I wanted to confirm that I'm sending the invitation to all city council members and city managers first. Okay,
Correct. Who else have we sent it to in the past?
in the past, because last year's chair of the city managers group was Peter Pernijat, and he's kind of connected regionally. He invited folks from San Mateo County. So we had Redwood City and Pacifica represented, and Corey Walbach
Mhm.
from Silicon Valley at Home. He came, and likely he will come again this year.
Yeah.
He actually came to our holiday party too.
Yes.
So it's not a lot that's.
So Larry, other suggestions for the summer event invitees?
And it's all about,
It's the emergency preparedness.
so I would invite the chiefs, all the fire chiefs, just basically go across. So, beyond the city managers, it's like making sure that the fire chiefs and the police chiefs are invited.
Whoever maybe does emergency management
Yep.
for the respective city, because everyone's organized a little
Right.
differently.
And whether or not they'll come, they might send somebody in just to be part of that global conversation.
Mhm.
Regardless of what speakers we end up with, I think that's important. And then, county EOC and, all the standards.
We're not charging for this event, right?
So that's my next.
If you're not, so this is so for the chiefs and all that, it would make sense. If you're not, let's say, the elected or county or city staff, we'll leave it at that general thing. Like if Corey wants to come, or, related groups, but they just want to come and mingle, then we normally charge something. But not, it's like $50 or so, something of that nature, because it's free for everybody else. Unlike the holiday party where we
Right.
take money
I just-
from, It's
I just-
selective.
I just-
At
I
least that's
just
what we've done
think-
in the past.
I just think that if we're gonna start inviting, right, and it's gonna be free, then I think we should kind of be clear on
No.
like.
Like, I totally agree. The bigger thing is if to care, it kind of goes depending upon what the topic of discussion is. If you're bringing in experts to speak, you're inviting all city staff and council members. And then if there are, I'll say, subject experts that would be useful spread around the room, that has value, it's like that has value that they shouldn't have to pay. And I'm like, I'm happy to have, if the fire chief from every city was also there, so be it. That would be a fantastic thing. Most likely won't happen, but we might get a few, and just to have them as part of that discussion, I think helps that from that standpoint.
Yeah, I'm not talking
but-
about the
but-
fire chief,
but I'm talking about-
just trying to.
I'm talking about all the other organizations,
Uh-huh.
like, El Camino Health and this organization and that organization, they can sponsor and get a few seats if they want, or they can buy a seat, and we're not making it expensive. That's a whole other thing that this motion needs to leave to the president and the director to figure out what the cost would be from a ticket standpoint, but I think, the subject matter experts make it free.
So let me put some words to the question I'm hearing from both the treasurer and the executive director. The council members and city managers from all the 15 cities are invited free. That's covered by Cities Association. In addition, the question is, do we cover the police chiefs, the fire chiefs, and the emergency managers from each of the organizations? That's adding
I understand.
how many people? 3 more, not necessarily 3 from each 15 cities?
Not at all.
No, but it could be 20 people.
I would guess at most one additional person from each of the cities.
Possibly, and it's June 11th. I'm fully aware of that. It's 2 days before FIFA. Not many will come.
Oh, I didn't even
I'm
think
fully
about
aware.
that.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that? Because I can't come back to this group without Brown acting for the price point, and that's important direction I need.
Just don't blow the budget. Just, like, honestly,
Or identify a donor who can cover the difference.
Well, the numbers that I've been giving you are based on 80 people. And
Yeah,
that's what I was asked to ask the caterers, based on 80 people, based on 100 people. I don't know what the budget would be then.
no. You have a budget right now, right? And that's what, $6,000, just whatever, don't go above the 6,000. I mean,
Right.
obviously, if it's like 6 and, some change, or, but like, I don't know, budgets are guidelines, and, we want to kind of stick to them as much as we can. So that's
So
all I
I'll
want to
see how
say.
much it costs for, I'll assume 91 city council members come and 15 city managers come and price that out. Usually it's 80 to 85,
That's usually the max, so
and that
we can
includes
get
city
for
managers.
any summer event.
I think Leslie's gonna help us.
Just a couple clarifying questions. So with the 80 folks or 100 folks, these folks are or not paying anything? They're not.
They're not. The $6,000 is
Right,
meant to
exactly,
cover
cover
the city
everything.
managers
That's what I
plus
thought.
the council members.
So a thought would be is that, well, you can invite them. I don't think, I think you're gonna have the same attendance, Shelley. Or, you know what I mean? I don't see, even though we invite all this stuff, it's just the possibility, like when you think about it, an event planning, it's always been 30% less of what you anticipate for attendance around that. So I think you're fine there. I don't know, Tina, in terms of like panelists. I do have an idea for one. I don't know if this is the appropriate time to bring that up now or not.
Give me ideas. I have been working with a couple of folks.
Yeah,
and we can
so
follow.
another thought, just kind of thinking with the fact that FIFA's right around the corner, so thinking the difficulty of maybe getting folks on there, there might, a really good person that you might want to think about is Ken Anderson, and he is the emergency services manager. He knows Tom Chin very well. Ken Anderson works for the South San Francisco Fire Department, again, the emergency services director, he's been to, you name it, he's been to the hurricanes deployed there, he's been deployed to the fires in Northern California, he's been deployed everywhere. It might be really interesting to hear his perspective of some of these massive disasters and what he's done and how and he may be more available because he's in San Mateo County. So that's just a thought. I certainly can get you in touch with him. I used to work with him, so.
Okay.
Then should I invite anyone else from San?
I don't think so. I think it's just,
Okay.
you know, just trying to hone in on the panelists. I don't think you need to expand it to San Mateo County, but just again, thinking about availability and people and interest and topic. And you want to bring somebody that really can tell a good story.
Yes.
And so I think he has a lot of stories to tell about
Excellent.
all of his experiences of being deployed to. And he's works for the fire department.
That's fabulous, and I don't want to give out too many names here. That's a great one, because I have been working with people in our county, and I will certainly follow up. The general idea was for now to keep people local within the county, and a city manager who's experienced, a fire chief, a law enforcement person, somebody from the hospitals. How do we deal? That's kind of where the thoughts are, and nothing has been finalized yet. That's what I was, when we were talking earlier, was saying that that's the main thing for me to get really sorted out. And so this is great. That's where I am. So feedback at that level from any of you, the panelists, expertise or names, if you have.
And
This is the perfect
along
time.
with that, whoever I should invite. So if you said hospitals, therefore should I invite El Camino Hospital, Stanford, you know? Should I invite them to
No.
this? No, okay.
No, because that's when we start inviting more people, we have to start charging for sure. The panelists are different. And so the exception, like hypothetically, if we have the panelists from San Mateo, that doesn't mean we start inviting San Mateo folks. Because we also have to think of capacity, not just charging them something. And if you're charging them hypothetically $50 versus the price point being 75, even that's impacting our budget. One other thing that very quietly said by the vice president here was, we also have the opportunity to get donors to cover some extra expenses in case the other attendees, the invitees, if we decide not to charge them. So I know I'm taking a little longer than I thought we would on this, but that's an important bit to get feedback from all of you now. Who else to invite, and what are your thoughts in terms of balancing, making it free for them or charging them a small amount?
And that's, and I'd like clarification on what we are charging the non-member ticket price. Last year it was 75. If it's 50 this year, that's great. I just
I was
need
just
to.
trying to- Let me talk. So I think, charging non-members, especially if they're just there to advocate, $75, $100, it's usually a nonprofit or an organization, then that makes total sense. If we find as you're getting closer to the budget of the number of people coming back and it's blowing the budget, because we have a certain number expected, and all of a sudden 100 people or 110 people want to speak on or want to attend because the topic is has interest to them, then I would say it's up to the president and the director to then talk to potential sponsors and it doesn't take much to meet that money, that if the budget's being missed, $1,000, $2,000, and giving them sponsorship, recognition, and free tickets. So you end up increasing the number of attendees, but you're also getting money to defer the additional members that we weren't expecting were going to show up, because we have to get a quote that tries to stay within budget, and assuming that we'll get 80, 90, 100 people, and if it's 110, back to Rosemary, we don't want to blow the budget. So I think charging for the interested parties that just want to mingle with electeds from across the county, $75 makes sense. And then if we're, conceivably getting sponsors, if we're seeing that we would like it to make sure that we stay on budget or stay within budget, because we're getting a lot more a lot more feedback than or a lot more signups than we initially thought. Sorry.
Okay, other comments?
It seems very rational.
So we do it in a stepped manner is what I'm hearing from Larry. If we get more signups, then we go look for sponsors. I have one other thought.
Or you can just reach out for sponsors if you want to skip that process, as long as you're staying, very low below the threshold of reporting, just to save the organization some money.
Yeah.
And you can pull that item quicker if you want.
Okay, one thought I had was Cities Association is made up of all 15 cities. And it is an honor for Saratoga to have it here in Saratoga, and we get to showcase Saratoga. We have wineries in so many cities. How about if different cities, handful of cities, figure out wineries from their city, somebody who can donate 5 bottles, 10 bottles, something like that? Or is that making it too complicated? I was just thinking of a collaborative approach. There are 80 persons. How many bottles do we need? 40 bottles? Just a thought to bring more of a collaborative approach. Saratoga doesn't do the wines for the event, but other cities like San Jose has, I don't know, Cupertino. Or is that an idea not to be considered? Any pitfalls there? Or
So the event has corkage fees or no?
It depends on who you choose for the caterer.
yes, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, I would say forget about the alcohol and just be done with it.
If we just buy bottles of wine and just put them there, there's no corkage fee. Just put wine, red, white.
On the tables?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I remembered 2 years ago or somebody, one of the prior presidents did.
Then you can conceivably not make a call out, but say that limited wine will be provided. Bring your favorite bottle if you want to share with your table, and that could be part of the invite and just be done. And don't try to organize it. That's the easier way.
And we usually have 4 bottles per table, 2 white, 2 red.
Yeah.
About 3 to 4 glasses each.
If that's within the budget. Okay.
I think it gets all complicated. I think pick the food, pick the, whatever it is that's gonna make it nice so that it's a good representation for Saratoga. And, the other stuff, that's gravy. So for me is keep it simple and, sort of organize the food, we already have the venue and all of that. And, have some sparkling waters. And if there's an opportunity to have a wine or a wine donation or whatever, then great. But I say focus on the more immediate and, it's around the corner.
Yeah.
So we should just go with it. And, I have a few ideas for wineries, but I wouldn't even worry about it too much.
So direction for me, I'm taking the caterer and all that, and the food and the water, the non-alcoholic beverages. I am not reaching out to the wineries.
No.
Okay.
No, it starts to complicate things too much. And just, ensure that it's gonna be a nice event, people are gonna enjoy each other and all of that. I would, given that last year, $75 for non-members were there. I think that the president is able to give out complimentary, like for the speakers and things like that, on a case-by-case basis. But if someone looks at our information that members are free and non-members are $75.
So members are member cities,
Member cities are free and
which means law enforcement, fire, emergency managers are free, which could be then 3 or 4, including city
I
manager.
wouldn't go there.
No.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean,
Okay,
I
just
think
checking.
that
I just wanted to be clear.
most of us know that it's really the elected officials, maybe the city manager, and I think that, the member price is free and, if you wanna, join them and you're not part of a city, then, it's $75, right? I mean, at your discretion, you can give, complimentary, and say, oh, well, maybe there's a code or maybe, I don't remember how it's all set up. But, that it would be complimentary, our speakers or whoever it is, and there you go.
And so final question, then, do you want me to invite county supervisors and our La Sacramento delegation?
Yes.
Invite them? And then
It's only-
they pay the 70, I mean, Margaret paid $75 last year, so.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
could, I
So
mean,
invite them
if
and they
they,
pay the
if they ask and say, oh, our elected officials comped, that's something that she can say yes or no. Okay, well, who is it, right? So I think that if you are a member organization, automatically it's free. And if it's a case by case basis and someone says, oh, are elected officials free? And Tina can decide whether or not she wants to give a complimentary this and that. Cause it should be like 1 or 2. It shouldn't be like a big deal.
The past few years that I've done the summer event and the winter event, I've just been very black and white when people have asked me. I said, well, it's free for members,
Mhm.
and that's city council members and city managers, and everybody else, it's $75 a ticket. And nobody has complained.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, then fine. I think that's fine. I think if somebody complained, they can go to the president.
I like that idea.
I don't like the idea.
If they really, really complain and they want to be comped, that's a conversation between Tina and that
Right,
person. not
yeah,
me.
yeah, I mean, I think $75, come on, Right, right, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
Is
Other
that,
questions?
is that clear now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, other questions? And here's the treasurer. So the president will pick up the phone and call the treasurer.
Is there money in the bank? I don't know.
Absolutely, is the treasurer's call. It's great to have a fabulous treasurer. Okay, other questions
No,
on
not
this
on
item?
this. My last question was any other community stakeholders, but I won't go there. I think we talked about the fire chiefs and.
Okay. And Andrew, if I have specific questions on this one is not going to be a Brown Act because we're not voting on this again. So I can pick up the phone and reach out to different executive committee members on the tweaking of the event. Because we are not voting on this again.
Well, let's say you can reach out to individual members to speak to specific aspects of the event, but
Okay.
not to build a consensus
Correct.
about the event,
Okay,
whether or not you're
wonderful.
voting on it. But we can certainly talk about it further.
Wonderful. I just wanted your permission in front of everyone so that we all know to stay within our lanes if that's where we are going. Super. Appreciate that, Andrew.
Sure.
Shally, anything else?
No, I have Steve Preminger on the list, and I'm
Okay.
sure we invite him.
Yes.
That's it. I'm sorry, that's it for this topic.
Okay, wonderful. Any public comment on this one?
No one online has their hand raised.
Okay, closing public comment, moving on to going back in order down to where we were earlier, which is item number future for F, future meeting topics. I think we have plenty on the board agenda. So if there isn't much thought, I'll open and close public comment, seeing no one here. Moving on to item number G, which is the Santa Clara County City Managers Association update. Leslie, anything?
No, it's similar to what we had at the last board meeting. We have not met since then, but it's really just focus on interns and the Leadership Academy.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's just that's the big conversation within the city managers.
okay. Thank you. Moving on to item number H, the executive director update. Shally.
This is where I was going
Mhm.
to. I was, but anyway, I know I don't have a further update. I'm just fully immersed in this June. panic thing.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for your service to the organization. That's, yeah.
Thank you. You
Appreciate it.
took us all by surprise.
Yeah.
I can see the faces in the room.
Well, that was why I didn't want to send you a letter. I didn't want to blindside you guys. You know what I mean? So I thought that would be different. And I do respect all of you, so as colleagues.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Okay, with that, we are now moving into the closed session. And Andrew's suggestion is to close the process that we are working on. It may behoove us to spend a brief amount of time on that. So I'm going to open the public comment period for the closed session before we go to the closed room. So any members of the public?
no one online has their hand.
Okay. So once Shally, Andrew, once Shally closes this meeting, then we can proceed into the closed session discussion.
That's correct.
Close the item.
Yep.
Other advice given her announcement, anything you want to, you need to stay on here with us?
No.
I can call you.
Yeah. If you need it, you can feel free to reach me for the next 30 minutes or so if you need me at all. I will be
If we
available.
need you.
Exactly.
Okay,
All right.
appreciate that.
Well, we can certainly follow up in any instance. And
Okay.
Charlie will certainly talk soon as well.
Okay.
Thank
So-
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrew. Thanks. Have a lovely evening. I know you have another meeting after this.
I do. I have another board meeting at 6:30. There you go.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
yes,
Let me go back the store and close the.
that'd be
So
great.
we are adjourning the closed session at 5:52.
Mhm.